Hello and welcome back to our channel, YouTube channel. Today we will talk about something, in my opinion, very important. This is T.M.J's temporomandibular joint, a very popular joint. We will do 4 videos regarding T.M.J's. We were talking about anatomy. First one, obviously, we have to understand the structure. Then we will talk about function of T.M.J. Third video is function, how we have the pathology of T.M.J's. And finally, the treatment. Don't miss that mini-series. It is a very, very important topic regarding anatomy, physiology, pathology, and treatment of one of the most popular joints in our body, temporomandibular joint. Enjoy the video and follow us in our channel if you like it. Okay, we're going through the T.M.J. Anatomy, the first video in this mini-series. The T.M.Js, we had a very misconception regarding the T.M.Js. We think it's a joint, but this particular joint is part of the craniofacial system. We see that when we will talk about physiology, about function. T.M.J's is not just a joint, it's part of our craniofacial system. Temporomandibular joint anatomy. The structure of the temporomandibular joint is very important. This particular joint, it is recovered by fibrocartilage. That's why if the pressure increases inside the joint, it will deform and we will have a disease. We will go directly to the anatomy of the temporomandibular joint. We will talk about the cavity, glenoid cavity, the mandible, the disc, the capsule and muscles, the whole structure, the whole particular structure of this particular joint. This temporomandibular joint is called this because it is formed by the temporal bone and the jaw. Temporomandibular joint. That is why the name temporomandibular joint. Temporalis is one of the bones on our cranium. You will see why we call it temporomandibular joint. Okay, and then we will go to talk about firstly of the cavity of the temporomandibular joint. That means the glenoid fossa, what is allocated the temporomandibular joint. Cavity. Temporal bone. That's why temporomandibular joint. The glenoid cavity is part of the temporal bone, which is one of the bones of the cranium on the lateral side. The cavity is the glenoid cavity is in intimate contact with the external auditory channel. That's why sometimes when we have the dysfunctions, we feel that we hear less than the normal. We feel that we have wax inside our ears. And in the zygomatic arch, there is a tubercle which is part of the joint that call it zygomatic eminence. Zygomatic eminence. And this part is main part of our temporomandibular joint. And then we will talk about the mandible, the main bone of our jaw. Our mandible is the main part of our temporomandibular joint, the only bone in our nervous system that have more mobility than the others. It moves everywhere, but it is conditioned. It is conditioned by the teeth. The jaw moves, conditioned by the teeth to block it, even if it's in a wrong position. The mandible have a condyle, which is allocated into the glenoid cavity. Anyway, condyle allocated into the glenoid cavity. This is a coronoid process that's very important. Why? Because in that particular part of the mandible, we have the insertion of one of the most powerful muscles of our cranium, the temporal. We have a branch, it's a vertical branch, and we have in the mandible a body with horizontal, and in the body is allocated the dentoalveolar process, the teeth. That is the anatomy of our jaw. Very important thing to understand is that in that condyle here, all this thing is covering with a fibrocartilage. Fibrocartilage is covering here. All this part of the condyle is covered of fibrocartilage. Fibrocartilage under pressure is deformed. That's why we do not have to increase the pressure into the joints. And now we go into the main part of our joint, the disc. The disc is between the condyle and the cavity. It is a bicconcave disc to compensate the different anatomy between the condyle and the cavity, because condyle and zygomatic tubercle, they are one in front of the other, and we have a disc to compensate, a bicconcave disc. On the back, that is very important, we have one of the most important ligaments of the temporomandibular joint, the posterior ligament. The posterior ligament is important. Why? Because there is coming the whole irrigation and innervation of the joint. It's coming there. Vital area for the temporomandibular joint. And then we go to the last part of the chapter, the capsule and muscles. The capsule. The capsule protects and supports the joint. giving the limit in the three sense of the space. What they mean? The capsule is attached in the glenoid cavity and in the neck of the condyle, and is limited the movement of the jaw. The jaw is pending through the capsule. Inside the T.M.Js, we found the synovial fluid as in any other joint. We do the movement better without any friction. And then we have the muscles of the T.M.J. The most related muscle to the T.M.Js are the temple, very big muscle, is an elevator of the jaw. The external pterygoideus, who is inserted into the disc, into the condyle and the disc, and is working in the moving forward and lateral of the jaw, the lower jaw. And the masseter, who is another elevator muscle of the craniofacial muscles. Three muscles who work directly with the T.M.Js, the movement and in the forces that we did every time we close our mouth into the temporal mandibular joint.